Du lytter til en original podcast fra Caritas Danmark, som er støttet af Danida. For et års tid siden, der var jeg i Uganda, hvor jeg mødte Laura Okello fra Caritas Danmark. Og dengang der fortalte hun sin egen ret utrolig historie om at komme fra ingenting til at knokle for at få et helt nyt liv. Men for nylig, der hørte jeg så fra nogle af Lauras kollegaer, at hun har været ude for et ret voldsomt færdselsuheld. Det er der kommet den her historie ud af. Og det er altså en historie, der starter ved lige netop Lauras færdselsuheld.
Det summer for hendes ører. Hun kan høre mumlende stemmer, men de virker utydelige og langt væk. Indersiden af hendes kranie dunker. Selvom hun næsten ikke tør, åbner hun langsomt øjnene. Hun ser ingenting, eller der er helt sort. Hun blinker et par gange og bliver bevidst om lysindfaldet til venstre for hende. Nu går det op for hende, at hun ikke kan bevæge sig. Hendes krop er låst fast, men det trækker underligt i hendes hoved. Det vender nedad, og benene er i vejret. Den omvendte virkelighed gør hende svimmel. Hun hører lyde fra bagsædet. Der er flere lyde. Det er hendes 2 piger og deres fætre og kusiner. Og så er der den anden lyd. Den sidste lyd kan hun ikke rigtig identificere, eller vent, det er jo hunden. De havde også hunden med i bilen. En ængstelighed breder sig i hendes krop. En ængstelighed, der veksles mellem panik og en overgivelse til håbløsheden. Efter alt, hun har været igennem i sit liv, er det her måden, hun skal dø. I en bilulykke på hovedvejen mellem Uganda og Rwanda. Hun lukker øjnene igen. I et forsøg på at holde de utænkelige tanker på afstand, lader hun tankerne drive. Langt væk fra den skingre tone i hendes hoved og lyden af hendes børn, der græder. Hendes tanker driver tilbage til barndommen. Tilbage til den lille landsby i Nord-Uganda, hvor hun voksede op.
My village was highly populated village. The village was full of grass-thatched houses. The houses with iron seats were the church, the school, and not more than...
Vi er tilbage i start 80'erne. Det er i den lille landsby med de knap 300 små runde huse med tag af græs og strå og en kirke og skole med ståltag, at Laura bliver født.
It was a small village where there were really hardly any good road network. We would just move through the small, we would call it panya roads, to reach the water source. Most of the people would move like more than 5 kilometers to look for water.
Når Laura ikke leger med en storebror og hendes yngre søskende, så hjælper hun sin mor så godt hun kan.
And when I was a little girl, I would also carry a bucket of water. A bucket to go and look for water. Unfortunately, sometimes when I'm almost reaching home, I fall down and the water pours down. And then my mother would tell me that you are the big girl, you need to go back to fetch water. On an empty stomach, I would go back following the big girls to look for water. And sometimes there's no food. I would support my mother to go to the garden to look for food to take care of my siblings. So the situation was really not okay.
Uganda og især Nord-Uganda er fattige her tilbage i midt-start 80'erne. Efter knap 10 år, først med den brutale diktator Idi Amin ved magten og senere Milton Obote, er der både mangel på infrastruktur, elektricitet, vand, mad, ja faktisk alt. Med andre ord ser fremtiden ikke særlig lys ud for den unge Laura, der snart skal begynde i skole. Men for at gøre en stram situation værre, så eksploderer en ny konflikt i Nord-Uganda.
Unfortunately, all those houses were burnt down, except the church and the school.
Den nye præsident og oprørsgruppen The Lord Resistant Army ryger totterne på hinanden.
And what I remember most, when my grandfather was arrested by the rebels and tied up on a big tree. That was the story.
Igen og igen haves landsbyen af både regeringens soldater og the rebels, der begge forsøger at rekruttere mænd og unge drenge til at kæmpe for deres side af sagen.
Yeah, and we were running from two different insurgencies. One is the government of Uganda from the Lord Resistance Army, led by Joseph Kony. They would come every day.
Og hver gang soldaterne trængte ind i byen, flygtede mændene og drengene som de første op i bjergene, så de blev taget til fange. Og konflikten sætter sine spor i hverdagen. Så oven i bekymringer om at få mad på bordet og rent drikkevand, ligger altså en konstant ængstelighed for på et splitsekund at blive tvunget til at smide alt, hvad man har i hænderne eller på tallerkenen. So when you're taking one meal a day, you're having food in front of you where all of you are eating from one pot, and then you really need to, as a child, we are too greedy to ensure that we always take part of the meat first, so that when the rebels come, they would come when you've already taken your meat, and you run when you know you would have food in your stomach. So the situation was not really okay. We were not safe at home. Sometimes they come unexpectedly. The time you don't come is the time they will come and arrest people. So they would come to loot, to take the girls, to loot animals. Så landsbyens mænd kidnappes og tvinges til at gå i krig. Piger og kvinder er i konstant fare for at blive kidnappet og voldtaget. Den mad, der er tilbage, plyndres af rebeller eller militæret, og når kampene kommer for tæt på, må de alle flygte op i bjergene.
So we would climb up the mountain. The mountain is bordering the Bim and my village, Adilang village. So when you are up the mountain, there were two problems. One, lack of food, lack of water. All I remember, I almost died up there. I also gave up. I told my mother I want to remain to die up there because there was no water. I had no energy to come down. Even when we were trying to go back, you are not sure whether you're going to reach the next destination because you would enter in an ambush or you would go through the landmine.
Da Laura er 9 år gammel, er hun mere bevidst om verdens grusomhed, end de fleste mennesker bliver på en livstid. Lauras forældre må sige i øjnene, at livet i landsbyen er blevet uholdbart, så en dag vælger de at forlade alt og flygte.
I remember we spent like 1 week, because sometimes you had to first go and sleep in the bush. So they had to first monitor whether the road was good, safe for us to reach. The situation in northern Uganda was really bad.
I byen Gulu, hvor Lauras onkel bor, slår de sig ned. Onkelen er præst og har penge nok til at kunne sørge for Laura og hendes 7 søskende, morfar og bedsteforældre. Så i Gulu starter den 9-årige Laura lidt sent for sin alder i primary school.
When I was around 9 years old, my uncle, who is a priest right now, is a Monsignor of the Archdiocese of Gulu. He brought us to a primary school called Mary Immaculate. So we felt like at least he is securing our future because he was paying our school fees, he would provide all the requirements. But still, even when we were at that school, the fight continued. The rebels kept on coming to the nearby schools. Our school, the primary school, was kind of protected because we were near the bishop's house, but the nearby school was being attacked by the rebels even when the soldiers were protecting the school. So we stayed in that primary school. We would pray that all would go fine.
I 1996 er Laura blevet 14 år gammel, og hun rykker op i secondary school. Selvom hun er dygtig i skolen og elsker at lære, så er den ugandiske borgerkrig en lige så indbagt del af skolen som matematik og engelsk.
But still, the rebels were still fighting. One day they came up to the school, they fought and they were firing guns, were abusing themselves between the government of Uganda, the soldiers for the government of Uganda and the Lord Resistance Army. So life was not easy, and yet we were supposed to compete with girls or children or students who are in the western and central Uganda. So life was not easy, and because we are sitting the same.
Men selvom livet ikke er let, gør Laura det, hun er god til, bruger indersiden af hovedet. Og med onklens hjælp flytter Laura i 2002 til hovedstaden Kampala i Syd-Uganda for at læse videre, for at få en uddannelse, så hun kan få et job. Som 20-årig begynder Laura på sin videregående uddannelse i Kampala.
So I did ethics and development study. Fortunately, I was the best student in the faculty of ethics and development studies, and I was given an award.
Laura knokler hårdt og bliver hurtigt den bedste i sin klasse. Med flid er ikke nok for Laura. Hun brænder både for bøger og for mennesker. Derfor beslutter hun sig for at rejse tilbage til Nord-Uganda mellem semestrene.
I was looking big to transform my community and my people back home.
Hun får et volontørjob, hvor hun hjælper i de store flygtningelejre i nord.
So from there, I was given a job immediately with ACDI Voca. So I worked with the people living with HIV and AIDS, still in northern Uganda. But the situation was still not okay. But by that time, there was some little peace because there was already lots of dialogues between the religious leaders in Uganda, government of Uganda, and the rebels. So around that time, there was peace building dialogue between those people. So when I completed, I worked for 1 year, then I went back again for my postgraduate in project planning and management.
Laura gennemfører en postgraduate, arbejder anerkendte steder og får mere og mere ansvar, og bygger en master oven på sin universitetsgrad.
So I went for the highest position ever. So I competed and I became the country manager of Link to Progress. I think I was the youngest country manager by that time. So I worked so hard and remembering that there was no water in my village. So the proposal that I had to think of by that time was the water project. So I worked in the eastern and northern where we were drilling lots of water with support from many donors like Konzaya Foundation.
Det lykkes Laura at skabe et langt bedre liv, end det ellers lå i kortene, dengang hun for knap 40 år siden gik 5 kilometer på tom mave efter vand til familien.
It's better for me to go for a call. So I went to Caritas Uganda, I applied and now became the humanitarian emergency coordinator from August 2017 to now.
Da vi mødte hende for et år siden, arbejdede hun for Caritas Uganda, hvor hun, blandt meget andet, har arbejdet med humanitære projekter i bitte flygtningelejren, der ligger på grænsen mellem Nord-Uganda og Sydsudan. Men selvom hun gennem sit arbejde har hjulpet utrolig mange mennesker, så er der alligevel én ting, hun især er stolt af, når hun ser tilbage på, hvor hun kom fra og hvad hun har opnået.
So that's where I came from, but I did not know I was going to be like this. Compared to the past, I think at least now I'm able to support my 2 children. I can pay them at school. I can support my little sisters. At least now the situation is better.
Hello, Laura.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm also good.
Laura, I was with Caritas Denmark in Uganda in October, and I'm not sure actually I had the pleasure. I just think I shook your hand, but my colleague, he did an interview with you. Anders, do you remember this?
I remember, yes.
Yes. Thank you very much for that.
You're welcome.
I just wanted to hear because you know Peter Christian from Caritas?
Yes, I know Peter Christian.
Yes. And he told me that you were in an accident.
Yeah, I was in an accident on 27th of December last year.
All right. Can I ask, like, what happened?
Yeah, I came back from home, from my village. We were 5 in the vehicle. I have there were 2 children of mine, both are girls. Then a niece of mine and a nephew. So we were 5 and I was the one driving. So I left home very early in the morning. So I was hurrying to go back to Kampala to go to Kibeho for prayers. Kibeho is in Rwanda.
Okay.
It's a place where people go for prayers.
Yes.
So I wanted to go early, but then from nowhere, my brake failed.
Oh, the brake on the car.
The brake failed. I tried my best to control the brakes. It failed. So what I did, I found a pathway where, because there was a vehicle coming in a speed, so I was trying to look at any opportunity to get off road without knocking anyone at the roadside, because there were also small houses. So I was trying to look at any opportunity where there are no houses, but there are trees, which could stop the speed of my vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
So what I did, I found a small...
Oh, yeah. Sorry, Laura. The connection just failed. So you looked for somewhere where there was trees, where you could
where there were trees. I wanted to knock trees which are not, the trees were not small, but not also big either. So I felt like if I were to go and knock the tree,
mm-hmm.
the tree was going to slow down the speed of the vehicle. At the same time, I would not be knocked by the big vehicle, which was coming very far in front of me. And then at the same time, I would avoid knocking people's houses, the grass touch houses on the roadside. So in the process of doing that, I overturned. I can even share with you the photo of the vehicle, for the accident. I overturned.
Yeah.
So when I overturned, my head was down and my legs were up. We were all in the same condition.
Wow.
And since it was in the morning, we closed all the windows because it was very cold. So the problem was that it was very difficult for us to get outside the vehicle. And then the young girl, my young daughter, said, I will find a way. So what she did, I do not know how she did it. Me, I was already giving up. I was thinking that I was even going to die because I was in a seatbelt and I could not help myself. So the young girl, she opened the window, got out of the window, and starting helping everyone one by one. What she did first was to save our dogs. She had a small dog.
Okay.
Instead of saving us first, she rushed to save the dog first.
All right.
Then after the dog, then she started saving other people. And then by the time people came and the police came, we were already out of the vehicle.
Because of your girl.
Yeah, we were okay. We were not injured, even if all the vehicle was badly damaged, but then none of us was injured. So I was like, maybe God wants me to serve the people.
Wow. And no one got hurt? Like no injuries?
No, nothing. No one was injured, not even a little bit, except the dog. The dog broke the tooth.
Okay.
And my daughter took the dog to the hospital.
Uh-huh.
And it's saying that the dog paid the price for all of us, and she was crying.
But that's amazing if it was only a broken dog tooth that happened.
Yeah, it was the tooth of the dog.
Dagens episode er skrevet og klippet af podcastbyrået Here. Podcasten udgives af Caritas Danmark med støtte fra Danida. Arbejdsgruppen er Peter Christian og Jakob Nue Sønderstrup fra Caritas Danmark og Annette Lilleøre og Anders Guldberg fra Here. Jeg har set Verden styrte i grus. Er tilbage med en ny episode om 14 dage. I den skal du høre en forsker, der har taget en noget utraditionel metode i brug for at fortælle om sit arbejde med flygtninge. Han er nemlig sprunget ud som poet. Glæd dig og brug ventetiden til at fortælle en ven om podcasten, så flere får ørerne op for nogle af de vigtige historier. Tak fordi du lyttede med og lyttede efter.
Wow. Yeah?
Yeah, there was an eyewitness.
Okay, so there was an eyewitness.
And then the eyewitness told me to go back. He told me to go and buy that land where I got an accident.
So he said you should go back and buy the land with the accident?
Where I got accident, where I got accident, yes.
Why would he say that?
He was just thinking that I should remember the place where I did not die.